Good morning, fourth graders. How are you doing today? We're going to start our lesson today with pictures and a discussion. Can all of you guys look at our picture today? Have you seen this picture anywhere? Yes, it's Don't Mess with Texas. What do you think Don't Mess with Texas means in this picture? Does anybody know? Right. It means don't litter. It's about littering. We have learned a lot about ways that humans harm the earth. We're talking all about that in science right now. What are other ways that people can harm the earth? Do you know? Right. Does anyone know any terms or vocabularies that describe the way that people can harm the earth? Right. It's pollution. We're talking about pollution, right? Pollution is the production of harmful substances and products into the environment. Now, pollution does not do good things to the earth, and it's how we are impacting the earth in a negative way, and we're talking about that in our science lesson. So one way we pollute is by littering, and so this poster is about that, right? So if you know any more vocabulary terms about it, we are talking about littering, and littering is scattering objects around in disorder, right? Does anyone know another vocabulary term that we're talking about in relation to pollution? Okay. Yes, good job, right? Conservation. It means preserving and not wasting. It's the preservation of waste, so we're not going to waste, right? So we were already talking about recycling as well. Recycling is to treat used or waste materials so as to make it resuitable and reusable, right? So does anybody remember biodegradable, what that means, right? Anyone? It means it's capable of degrading. So in previous lessons, we've also talked about slogan, right? Slogan is a short and striking, memorable phrase used in advertising. So what do you think slogan has to do with this poster? Anyone? Right. So and it means that it's persuading us not to litter, right? And so this slogan is persuading us to not pollute the earth. So that's a good point. We know a lot of advertisings have slogans, and we talked about this last lesson, that slogans all have something in common. Does anyone remember what's in common when we talk about slogans? Right, good job. Slogans are all persuasive, right? And persuasive is talking people into or convincing someone into something that they maybe wouldn't have normally done or known about. What do you think in this case are they persuading us to do? Or in this case, not do, right? They're persuading us not to litter. So here are some objects that I brought out, and I'll pass these around. These objects, what do you think they have to do with our poster here? They're all biodegradable. Good. They're not good for us to litter, right? Right. Some of them aren't. They're non-biodegradable. Good job. Right. So biodegradable, meaning some of them decay better than others, and others of them can be reused or recycled, right? Now, the good part and the fun part is we're going to do an activity in regards to making our own slogan. Just like this poster is persuading us not to do something, and some posters persuade us to do something, we're going to do our own poster. And in our poster, we're going to make up our own catchy slogan that's going to persuade the public, meaning our class in this case, not to pollute. And the most important thing you know, and I've already separated you guys into groups, and remember, each group is responsible for working together. That's what we do in our class. And there are 3 criteria, 3 really important requirements for this poster. Number 1, you have to think up a catchy slogan, so all group has to come together and have a discussion on what a slogan is and what point they want to make and how they want to persuade someone not to pollute. The other requirement is it has to have at least 3 pictures. The pictures can be drawn. They can come from a magazine. They can come from your own brain. But either way, there has to be at least 3. In each 3 of the pictures, they have to have a description of the picture. And remember, we're persuading people not to pollute the earth. And lastly, the last requirement is that each group has to be able to do a brief presentation of their poster and individually answer questions. So we're going to do all of that. And I want to see all of you guys working together, working as a team, and getting along. So remember, you have to have a catchy slogan, 3 pictures, and a written description, and a brief presentation. And remember, I'll be asking you questions about this, and you'll be able to have to be able to talk about how you came up with your slogan and other questions. So that'll be great. So let's get started. I'll be passing out poster board to each and every one of your groups. You'll have magazines and so forth. And if you guys want to use these objects that I brought in order to help you think up and get creative, part of the creative process to think up a good slogan, that would be great. So let's get started.